West Hollywood story is exploring the iconic boulevards, endless shopping, and beautiful galleries. Inspiration is endless in West Hollywood. The neighborhood tells stories of established and emerging artists. You will find fashion and styles from all over the world here. A California sunset is the perfect way to end our day. We will take VIP tickets to this show every night. Our vacation is just getting started. This is our West Hollywood story. Come and find yours.
LA Galaxy belongs on the best surfaces. Whether you're the best player or the best fan, every goal, every tackle, every last-second battle, it all requires precision, performance, and passion. The LA Galaxy trust AstroTurf to provide the best surfaces, because champions deserve the best. AstroTurf, the official synthetic turf and hybrid field building partner of the LA Galaxy.
My dad was a farmer. And when I saw him on a horse, the guy was bigger than life. One of the things that he had a hard time doing was showing the emotion. Maybe it was because the way he was raised, or believing that men provide and they don't struggle. But we all struggle. I want to show emotion to my kids. I want them to know when I'm happy, I want them to know when I'm sad, and I want them to see me working through things. The biggest reward I get from being a dad is watching my kids accomplish a goal, watching them light up. Nothing brings a bigger smile to my face. So I make my kids a priority. Whether it's hitting a baseball, a dance rehearsal, you name it, I'm there. They're gonna remember that they grew up loved. Be brave. Be there every day. And allow your kids to know that it's okay to struggle. That even dad doesn't know the answer sometimes, but we're gonna figure it out together.
Firearms are the #1 cause of death among kids, but we know that healthcare workers can make a huge difference. This is why prevention is absolutely critical. It starts with listening to the community, leaning in on those conversations to better inform what is the approach that you want to take. You are the champions for change. You can be the catalyst for integrating firearm injury prevention strategies into your practice and really benefiting your community. Let's agree to agree that we all have a role to play in ending this crisis.
Your favorite teams, your favorite live streams, your favorite highlights. Be sure to engage with us. Find us now on YouTube at NSBN Sports or visit us at nsbnsports.com.
Welcome inside of Brickyard Ballpark and into our coverage of Championship Friday between the Bryan College Lions and Reinhardt University Eagles. Only one advances to the 1 p.m. title game. It's the penultimate elimination stage for these two programs. Gabriel Schrei, Brendan Sweeney, and we're glad you're along with us for what promises to be a barn burner. We'll break and return after the playing of the American National Anthem.
What if you could have it all? A place to call home, a great job, and a safe and welcoming community to raise your family. You can have all that and more in Kingsport, Tennessee. For the past quarter century, Kingsport has been on a mission to reinvent itself as the first professionally planned and privately financed city of the 20th century. Kingsport has earned the nickname the Model City. From award-winning educational initiatives to business incubators to the surrounding natural beauty, Kingsport is just the right size to have the amenities you need without the traffic and crime of a larger city. With a vibrant downtown, great shopping and dining, and a thriving local economy, Kingsport is the perfect place to call home. Ready to start loving where you live? Choose Kingsport. Visit movetokingsport.com and discover all the reasons why this charming town is the perfect place to call home.
Inside of Brickyard Park, it is the elimination game. Only one moves on to the championship between the Lions of Bryan College and the Eagles of Reinhardt University here on Championship Friday. Gabriel Schrei, Brendan Sweeney alongside me. And Brendan, it's unbelievable that it's already time to decide who gets to move on to the big game.
Yeah, it really is. It's been such a fun tournament all the way through, and we're on our final day now, and these two teams have had good tournaments. Bryan was in the driver's seat for much of it, going all the way through the winner's bracket before falling yesterday to Truett McConnell to get into this game. And Reinhardt took down Johnson, the number 2 seed. Reinhardt taking down the top seed in the tournament yesterday in an elimination contest to make their way into this game with a chance to get into the final.
Really impressive to see them able to pull it off, and it was such a tight race down to the finish. Felt like a real boat race between these two sides. It is the 2026 AAC Conference Softball Tournament. The championship game awaits the victor in this final elimination game. This is the loser's side of the bracket. Both these teams have lost a game, and unexpectedly at that. But one of them will have the chance to move on and play for glory this afternoon at 1 o'clock against the winner on top, Truett McConnell.
Some trepidation here for Bryan before we get the first pitch thrown. I think maybe some issue with communication on the sign for the pitch.
Yeah, early quick break, as now we're ready to go in the top of the first. That's dealt through Taylor Wade, the leadoff for Reinhardt University's Eagles, a superstar and such an important piece of this lineup. She has powered them through the loser's bracket and kept their season alive single-handedly. Wade is hit by pitch and will take her place over at first.
Well, you'll certainly take that if you're Reinhardt. KP Smith in the circle for Bryan has been really good for Bryan so far in this tournament. Lost to Truett McConnell yesterday, but pitched extremely well in that game. Only 3 runs came across the plate. She went the whole way, and so 3.66 ERA for her this year. This is going to be her 28th start of the year in the circle for the Lions, which is a massive number. She's pitched in every game.
It's a lot of work inside of the circle, and she's done well for them. I mean, she's powered them to this point, helped them make it to this big game as this is fouled off over the top of the Lions dugout. Reinhardt's Haley Shirley behind 0-2 in the count early against KP.
Yeah, Shirley, a .343 hitter up at the top of this order, had a couple of really big at-bats yesterday in their win over Johnson.
Got a hold of that and moving down to first. She is safe as we have a runner in scoring position and Taylor Wade out at second.
Yeah, first 2 batters of the game on base for the Eagles, and that's a great start considering who you have in the box now with Ansley Height.
Fouled that off the backstop. Meeting the lineup for these two sides, the batting card for Reinhardt University. You saw Taylor Wade lead off. She was hit by pitch and is in scoring position at second. Shirley over at first, 1 for 1 to start the day. Ansley is now in the 3 hole, the DP taking her cuts for Reinhardt University. As this is chopped through the infield and controlled as it's sent across to the play. Able to get that going for Bryan College. 1 away after she's cut down and can't advance to third.
Yeah, smart play by the shortstop, Maddie Lee, going the short way to third base on a ball that was hit a little bit to her right in the 5-6 hole.
Pettit is number 4 in the lineup, followed by Freegee, Shalen, Stevens, Hutto, and Schaefer rounding out the 9 batters for Reinhardt in their card today. They're trying to stave elimination as everybody stays put. For a moment, thought Shirley would advance. The defense for Bryan College and the Lions from left to right in the outfield. It's Blackwell in left field and center Baldwin, Santanias on the right side around the base path as this is crunched across and Reinhardt moving again. They're going to bring her home for the score and Reinhardt out ahead 1-0 in our elimination game over the Bryan College Lions to get us started.
Yeah, Reinhardt gets this thing going early in the top of the first. That's another hit for these Eagles and an RBI from Emily Pettit, who's been really big for this team in this tournament all the way around.
That is a red-hot roaring start for the Reinhardt Eagles. From first to third, Taylor. Second base held down by Lockhart. Third is Saul for Bryan College. The Lions at shortstop have Maddie Lee. Catching today, Abby Young, and inside of the circle, you called it right away, the star, KP Smith. This is zipped by.
Kylie Freegee in the box here, and 2 runners aboard with 1 out here for the Eagles, and they'd love to put up a crooked number in this first inning to set the tone.
And that goes for the strike. 1 away, count 2-0. She's way out ahead against KP Smith as she suffers that strike 1. Reinhardt the early lead. Dished inside and cranked by the Eagles batter. Freegee sends that long, but it goes foul. Smith has already pitched over a dozen. Freegee right at her. This one rattles through, and Reinhardt loads the bases. Hopefully KP Smith is all right.
Yeah, definitely smarts, that's for sure. That hit right in the thigh on the right leg of KP Smith. And her coach coming out to check on her, but I would venture to say KP Smith will tell her she's not coming out of this game.
Showing off her toughness early, and the bases loaded in Kingsport, Tennessee between these two sides of the 2-2 count. The tournament flipped on day 4. 3 teams were eliminated. The bracket pretty much taken and held upside down and shaken, right? A total shakeup of what we had seen, what to expect the rest of the tournament. Truett McConnell quietly became the last unbeaten team, sat in the driver's seat. Reinhardt survived 2 elimination caliber games in 1 day to stay alive. Bryan pushed Truett McConnell to extra innings, but narrow margins have separated our contenders in this final day. Top-seeded Johnson was shockingly eliminated after a late loss to Reinhardt, and it blew this bracket wide open. Extra inning pressure has been a theme. Truett McConnell's proven, though, they can handle tight spots.
Yeah, they took an extra inning victory against Bryan yesterday to stay in the winner's bracket and clinch their spot in the title game this afternoon.
This is going to go through. Reinhardt's offense has been getting hot lately. Hotter and hotter as the tournament has gone on. 16 runs in 2 games on Thursday. Floater back across, and doing work are the Lions of Bryan College.
And nice play there. That's huge for their chances to get out of this inning without allowing a second run. Getting the pop out or soft line out by Olshaway to second keeps everybody put at first, second, and third.
And to be frank, I feel like this is one of the more problematic batters in the lineup. Just of note, 44 has been scalding hot in this tournament.
Molly Stevens has had a great tournament, a home run so far this season with 10 RBIs, but she's hitting .303. So this is a hitter who gets a hit 3 out of 10 times.
Stevens holds off. Pitching durability has become a problem for these two programs specifically, right? We just saw KP take a shot.
Yeah, Smith takes that line drive off the thigh. We'll have to see how she deals with that.
We haven't seen Reinhardt's pitching staff yet, but they are short on the bench as well and have been working their pitcher back and forth, right, going through that staff and a little dinged up, so hoping that they can keep playing on through this and keep it competitive and fun and interesting. But it's a momentum versus rest dynamic in this one, I think. Bryan, Reinhardt, no rest. They're going to beat the tar out of each other in this game and leave it all on the line, trying to advance to the championship. Truett McConnell is going to be fresh and ready to go. Retiring the side, Bryan trails early, 1-0. The Lions looking to dig their way back into this and equalize us in the bottom side of this first half inning.
Your favorite teams, your favorite live streams, your favorite highlights. Be sure to engage with us. Find us now on YouTube at NSBN Sports or visit us at nsbnsports.com.
What if you could have it all? A place to call home, a great job, and a safe and welcoming community to raise your family. You can have all that and more in Kingsport, Tennessee. For the past quarter century, Kingsport has been on a mission to reinvent itself as the first professionally planned and privately financed city of the 20th century. Kingsport has earned the nickname the Model City. From award-winning educational initiatives to business incubators to the surrounding natural beauty, Kingsport is just the right size to have the amenities you need without the traffic and crime of a larger city. With a vibrant downtown, great shopping and dining, and a thriving local economy, Kingsport is the perfect place to call home. Ready to start loving where you live? Choose Kingsport. Visit movetokingsport.com and discover all the reasons why this charming town is the perfect place to call home.
Welcome back. Kingsport. Having a little fun between half innings here. Brendan and I enjoying chatting with Haley and Christian, who are in the press box with us today, and we are talking about looking around the nation and some of the top programs.
Yeah, some of the top programs out there. NAI just released, actually, the 10 of the opening round sites for the NAI Softball Championship Tournament. And I actually have those right in front of me right here. And Central Methodist in Missouri is one of them. Cumberland's of Kentucky. They always tend to get a host bid. Lindsey Wilson in Kentucky as well is another host. Mobile, Alabama, Oklahoma City, and the Stars. Oregon Tech, who was at one point #1 in the previous poll, now #3 nationally. They are a host. Science and Arts of Oklahoma is another one. Southeastern of Florida, the Fire in Lakeland. Southern Oregon and Ashland, Oregon. So 2 Oregon sites for the NAI tournament opening rounds. And then William Carey in Mississippi is the final of 10 that have been announced. So,
wow, congratulations to those schools. And NAI always selects well, so I'm excited to see how that goes as we'll meet the card here on this side of the ball. Reinhardt defensively from left to right. It's Shirley in left field. In the center, we've got to look at Taylor Wade, the star, on the right, Pettit. On the infield at first base, it's Shaylin. At second, holding it down is Schaefer. On third is Freegee. The shortstop, Molly Stevens. Catching for Reinhardt is Hutto in this game. And inside of the circle, as you can see, Pettit doing work.
Yeah, Juliana Santillanes for Bryan leading off, having another pesky at-bat for the Lions. That's something she does well, seems like every game.
I like that descriptor, as she is pesky enough to get on base with a walk.
Yeah, sees a lot of pitches, has a great eye. I think that was an 8-pitch at-bat, if I'm not mistaken.
That's quite a bit.
It's a good start.
So Santinius is followed in the lineup by second base Lockhart, who's in the 2-hole. She's going to bat right now. Bunt is flying across with a play for Reinhardt. Wow.
What a grab by Freegee, diving in foul territory just behind the right-handed batter's box. That's a long run for Freegee, and she read it beautifully to make that headlong diving catch.
Big time play by Freegee and the Reinhardt Eagles, as we're still really early in the first inning in a 1-0 game. So Lockhart gone, she's second in the lineup. In the 3-hole is Ava Saul, who has been a menace working that bat all season long, a huge percentage and very effective. Taylor and Baldwin in the 4 and 5, Blackwell in the 6-hole, Malone the DP in the 7 spot. In the 8 spot, the pitcher is batting, and we loved talking about that and enjoyed watching her go to work. Limited at bats this year, and from what I've been told, she was unable to do so until the tournament, and able to get involved and start taking some cuts, and my goodness, is she a good batter. And in the 9-hole, rounding out the lineup, Maddie Lee.
Yeah, she's been big, KP Smith, in that 8th spot in the order. RBIs in clutch spots yesterday, game-tying RBI late. They were down 1-0 against Truett, tied the game 1-1 because of her RBI single through the right side.
And that is sauced through by the Reinhardt Eagles.
Yeah, 3-1 for Saul here. She's in a commanding position in the batter's box.
Floater in center field. She could be in trouble, and able to get that down. The bloop single just on the edge of the infield puts Saul over at first and advances the leadoff Santinius, who was walked to second in scoring position.
Yeah, just a jam shot looper into center field by Saul. Got her hands out beyond her body, and it got the handle of the bat, but it worked out for her.
Popped up foul over the top. Bryan Lions were eliminated in 2022 in a narrow, tight margin, 2-1. And then in 2024 fell 5-0. They struggled to generate offense in elimination spots until this year. Held to 1 or fewer runs in key exits, and they were noted as being upset vulnerable after an 8-3 loss in 2025 to Brunel. Following that, dropped in the elimination game, and then obviously in 2024, Reinhardt took them out of the tournament 5-3.
Yeah, it's maybe a chance to exact revenge for the Lions here in this one.
This has long been a really good softball program, and making their way this close to the championship game, making it to Friday, this is long overdue. This is a spot they believe they belong in. They have been building this for a long time. This is roped to center field, and that's 2 away.
That ball was smashed out to center field. That was hit on a frozen rope into the glove of the center fielder, Taylor Wade. And unfortunate luck there for Bryan, because if that ball's hit in the right center or left center gaps, there's probably at least 1 run coming across the plate.
Bryan moving on in the lineup, but you know, that's really the story of their participation in the tournament over the last few years. Consistently have been forced down into the underside bracket, the elimination bracket, and haven't been able to sustain those deep pushes. So they're looking to make the difference here, and this has been super impressive to this point. An exit in this game this is a win. This is a great season in the tournament. You can feel good about this.
Yeah, you can. Obviously, it's going to hurt because it's going to end your season if that is what happens. But at the same time, you can look, fondly upon your tournament play and just kind of say, hey, we did what we could do to get as far as possible in this tournament. Beat some good teams to get there. Shut out Johnson, the top seed, earlier in this tournament. There's big signature wins to look back on, even if you fall in this one.
Yeah, they haven't made it to this round of the tournament in years. Dating back to 2021, they have not made it to Championship Friday. They were the #1 seed, the regular season champions in 2022, and still were eliminated. They didn't have a single extra base hit in a championship path loss to Truett McConnell.
And that's another blue blood of this conference in softball. Truett McConnell has been a very good program over the years, and we're seeing in this tournament it has been the blue bloods that have found their way to the end of this tournament, fighting back through the losers bracket to do so. And Reinhardt, obviously one of those teams. Bryan here has been a very competitive team over the years, as you mentioned.
Dropping that through 2 away, and Reinhardt looked like they kind of had Bryan dead to rights, I guess, so to say, in the first inning here on their side at bat. But all of a sudden, the Lions have found a way to squeak themselves into a bases-loaded situation. Chopper right on the line, rolling down the chalk. It goes foul. Good luck for the Eagles of Reinhardt.
Yeah, lucky there for maybe kind of for Bryan almost, because I think probably a play is made there on that ground ball. If it's at home plate, it's at home plate, but whatever base is easiest with the bases loaded.
Floater and controlled to retire the side for the Eagles of Reinhardt. They'll go back to bat after they were able to produce a run in the top of the first. Will they be able to continue to be successful on the offensive side of the ball? We're going to find out in a moment. We'll keep you here instead of stepping aside because we want to talk about the numbers driving this matchup in these two programs. This is a look at their stats entering today's game. 26 wins for the Reinhardt Eagles. As you can see, they've played far fewer than Bryan and struggled to get their out-of-conference schedule aligned. Bryan's Lions 28 wins, both hitting near 300. The Lions closer to 3.25 though than the Eagles. Hey, about 15 runs apiece, pretty good on the homer side of things, and then the ERA and strikeouts a big difference.
Yeah, Bryan's striking out hitters at a higher clip, but giving up more runs. And Reinhardt on the other side, obviously much better with the run prevention than Bryan has been this season. And the two teams offensively, I think, are very comparable. So it's going to come down to the pitching, I think, in this one. Who's able to hold their opposing lineup down the longest? I think that team is going to pull this one out.
I love it. It promises to be a really fun battle. And we have just a second, so we'll look at the hypotheticals of a matchup. If Reinhardt were to win, that's what that would look like for TMU. And the Eagles, 29 wins, 27, if Reinhardt were to pick up that extra win today. And a look at the hypothetical matchup with the Bryan Lions, 29 wins would be their total. And the numbers obviously pretty strong for TMU's Bears.
Yeah. I think in terms of a lineup right now that remains in this tournament, I think they are the lineup that strikes the most fear.
TMU.
Yeah, Truett McConnell, with no doubt, strikes the most fear into their opponent. And so I think they hold the advantage right now. They're in the driver's seat as the number 6 seed coming in, but they're undefeated. They'd have to be beaten twice anyways by either of these teams, whichever one does get to face them in the end.
Definitely going to be an exciting race to the finish. Reinhardt jumped out to an early 1-0 lead in the top side of our first. The Eagles have been probably the best team in the last 5 years in this conference as far as softball goes. This is rode through the air looking like a golf club swing, but hauled in over at third to retire the first of the side for the Lions of Bryan College.
Yeah, it looked like Ava Saul momentarily at third base had a little bit of struggle with the sun, trying to fight it off as it was popped up right up into the sun, but she does find it in the end to make the catch.
Great play, one away in the top of the second. Reinhardt going to hold off as that goes for a ball. The Eagles, a dominant regular season team. Number 1 seed in the conference entering the tournament in 2023, 2024, and 2025. So out of sorts coming in as the number 2 seed. Johnson finally pushing their way past those Eagles of Reinhardt, even though they did get eliminated in the tournament here. 2024, their championship was fueled by run-style wins. They were cooking with gas, and it was a fun run. We were here for that. 8-0, 9-1 in the title game. Routinely produced high run totals. They had 13 runs in 2025, a dozen in 2023, and multiple 8+ outputs. But when eliminated, it's often in tight, low-scoring games. 1-0 loss in 2025, 5-4 in 2023. That was in the title game, though. So interesting to see how they'll do here. If they score a lot of runs, looking good for them. But if they struggle to produce, that typically has advantaged their opponent.
Yeah, and I think, KP Smith is a bit of a catalyst for this game specifically. Reinhardt's offense over the last 2 games has put up quite a few runs against pitchers that are not front-line starters in this conference in Milligan, and then Johnson did not pitch Lindy Weber yesterday in the game against them. So, they were able to put up big-time runs against teams that weren't necessarily throwing their top arms. So facing a top arm like KP Smith here, we're going to see if they can put up those big run outputs in this game against a better pitcher.
Lets that go. We're back to the top of the card for Reinhardt's Eagles, as this is their star who got hit in her first at-bat, Taylor Wade.
Close pitch there.
Sar got cut into on her first at bat, took a shot right away and went to the bag and was able to be batted home for Reinhardt to make it 1-0. She's already got the run and now fouls off with 2 away in the top of the second. So I guess for Reinhardt, they're capable of those blowouts and grinded out wins as a program, historically speaking. Maybe not this season. I'm not saying they're not this season. I'm just saying historically the proof is in the pudding, the evidence is there.
Yeah.
Strong in the early rounds, always advance a round or even 2 without trouble at all, without falling into the elimination side of the bracket. They've had a lot of shutouts, but they're elite until challenged late, and then they struggle to close titles consistently, right? They win the conference, they run the table, they're commanding. Can they finish out? They've struggled. Not that they haven't won titles and been probably the most consistent and the top of the conference in this sport. But that being said, they've struggled when it comes to title day.
Yeah, and this year has been different, to be honest. They came into this tournament, they lost their first game in the tournament to Milligan. They upset them 6-3. They then fell to that elimination bracket, and since then they've won every game all the way up to this point. So this has been different. They don't normally lose that first game in the tournament and drop into the elimination bracket. So that's been impressive to see from them. There's been some real mental fortitude shown by the Eagles on this trip through the tournament.
No, it's a very different Eagles squad than we're used to. Different pieces of personnel, as this is going to be lofted to second and rolls into the short outfield. Well, I thought Wade would go to third, but the ball is collected by the center fielder, and that's a heads-up play for the Lions to prevent her from getting into prime scoring territory with 2 away.
Yeah, I think ball didn't quite get far enough away from the center fielder for Bryan that time, Casey Baldwin. Otherwise, Wade would have certainly taken that extra 60 feet.
That's a good point, though, that they fell in the first game and went immediately to the underside of the bracket. Really a different look. This is sauced by and goes for ball 2 with 2 away in the top of the second. 1-0 game. Shirley was able to get the hit in her first at bat, and what she did is bat at home. Miss Taylor Wade, who's at second. Shirley gets that one by for a strike. gets a hold of this. Well played as she's rushing to first, and Reinhardt is bringing home Taylor Wade again for another score. It's 2-0. Reinhardt University Eagles lead by a pair of runs in the top of our second.
Yeah, this is a stellar start for the Eagles. If you were to tell me before this game that the Eagles would have a run in each of the first 2 innings against KP Smith and have a 2-0 lead, I would tell you that that team probably ends up winning this game. So a great start to this contest, and this inning only just beginning.
And another hit coming on the next at bat for Reinhardt, as that's going to fly out the Eagles, collected in short outfield to send us to our next half inning in Kingsport. A trip to the championship game and a duel with the Bears of Truett McConnell on the line at Brickyard Park. In Kingsport, Tennessee, it's the Appalachian Athletic Conference Softball Tournament, the final elimination game before the championship bout. And my goodness, do we have a battle in store. Reinhardt is leading this one early, 2-0, as Bryan will go back to bat.
Yeah, 2 good half innings for Reinhardt, finding ways to drive runs across the plate. And now Bryan is going to have to respond after leaving the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning when they were up last time.
Lets that sail on by. Leadoff hitter on this side, Brooklyn Malone for the Lions of Bryan College, as Pettit is already closing in on 30 pitches, and we've been talking a lot about the durability of the pitching staff for these 2 clubs specifically. Truett McConnell is fresh, well rested. They probably had a great dinner and a solid breakfast, slept in a little bit, maybe read the paper, had some coffee. They're ready to go, and these guys are out here duking it out to start us on Championship Friday.
I will say, not sure that 18 to 22-year-old young women are reading the paper, but
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Genuine question. Can you still get the paper delivered in Kingsport?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is it like a local paper? Or is it a statewide, like Nashville? Or
I think they've got, local paper. Local papers here.
I might have to find out what the local paper is. It'd be fun to get one. I haven't read a newspaper in a long time.
As I said before, I would guess probably not many people reading the paper.
Probably not. Coffee, though.
At least on paper. Digitally, maybe. You might be reading it on their website, but
that's true. We read social media now. You just wake up and you read your phone until you're so angry you have to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And then you do the same thing at night. You're like, I can't look at this anymore, and then you go to sleep. This is going to be roped foul. Ouch. Coach, look out.
Oh, man, that was just a straight shot by KP Smith. Friendly fire.
Friendly fire's crazy. Hopefully she's all right, trying to shake it off down there. Hidden by the leg of our batter on the on-deck circle behind KP Smith as that rolls through.
Ooh, that was close. That was barely tipped by KP Smith on the changeup. Pettit has thrown that pitch very sparingly, but it's always in these 2-strike counts, and she has caught batters by surprise quite often.
Floater down the left field line, trending foul and towards the outside of the fence as this one sails out of here.
Yeah, Smith battling here, but she's still down 0-2, and it's going to take some real effort to get back into this count.
Chopper foul again over the top of Coach, who is now backing off a little bit.
Yeah, threw that changeup again. And Smith just barely able to hold on long enough to foul that down the left field side.
So Reinhardt, statistically, on paper, playing the best softball of the tournament right now. A couple of wins coming in, big ones. Eliminated Milligan after trailing by a wide margin. They were able to explode for 7 runs in a comeback. They followed that with a 5-3 win to eliminate the #1 seed who swept them to end the regular season, the Johnson Royals. She'll go with a swing and get cut down, 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd.
A nice pitch up and away there. KP Smith in swing mode there in the 0-2 count, just protecting the zone, and couldn't get to that pitch out of the zone up high.
But that hot softball, I think, could be a big key, right? They're playing clean softball. They're playing hot. They're playing together. They look like they're having more fun than when they got here and moving fast. The offense has been heating up. Their extra base hit surge is going to be huge today in this first matchup, and if they can make it in the championship bout, the floater is grabbed as that bounces off and puts 2 on board for the Lions of Bryan College.
Yeah, 2 aboard for Bryan. They've got to take advantage now. They've got 2 on base. They're back to the top of their order with Santianes, and so this is an important time for them to get something going offensively. And, you know, to piggyback off your point with Reinhardt being as hot as anybody in this tournament, you're absolutely right, but I think I'm a little concerned. I'm concerned that they're going to run out of pitching. With as much as Ainsley Pettit has thrown in this tournament, at some point, too much becomes too much.
Yeah, and I to be quite frank with you, like, I agree. And it feels somewhat disappointing to have to be frank about that both of these programs have been stellar. All 3 deserve a trophy for what has been a fun week of softball. This is choppered through, collected, and sent to first in time to retire the side. Doing work from 3rd. Reinhardt will flip us to the top side of the 3rd inning. We'll keep it here, though, and continue to talk stats and break down what's going on and where we're headed. We'll take you back to those numbers. You've already seen them once, but didn't get too long to spend with them. These are our stats comparing these 2 programs entering this elimination game. But, you know, thanks for responding to that point so well. First of all, that they're super hot and they're going to run out of pitching.
Yeah.
I think both these programs are like, okay, you're gonna run KP Smith for 3 games straight. You're gonna run Pettit for 3 games straight. I mean, how do you pull out 3 games in a row, especially against TMU? Not only are they fresh, but they're great. 42 home runs.
There's really, I mean, for Reinhardt right now, what we're told is, I mean, the options are just not really there. You know, for them pitching wise, it's kind of Ainsley Pettit's show at this point, and KP Smith almost the same way. Maddie Lee, their shortstop, is their 2nd best pitcher and their 2nd most used pitcher on the year. And otherwise, they've only had 2 other pitchers have relief appearances this year. So you're right. I mean, both these teams' pitching staffs are they're going to have to really dig deep to get through this tournament. And unfortunately, I think for them, running up against Truett McConnell, who's in, I think, a better situation pitching-wise right now, is going to be very difficult, I think, for either of these sides to pull it off.
I agree. It would be irresponsible to disagree as we're underway in the top of the 3rd. Truett McConnell's got, first of all, just generally a deeper roster at this point in the season as far as pitching staff goes. Not only that, they're fresh. Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you want to get into stats, though, they probably are extremely competitive as far as strikeouts and ERA, right? So, but even without diving into any stats or the total number of pitchers available, very plainly, these 2 are at the end of the bench, and not that they're the least talented. They have their best pitchers available right now. But just they are at the end of the line as far as who they can send to the circle and who can do well. We had a non-pitcher warming up to potentially throw nothing but fastballs yesterday for Bryan College. So this is a tough situation as the floater is collected to retire the first of the side and send a Reinhardt Eagle back to the dugout. With one away in the top of the third, Freegee is going to be the next at bat. Pettit back to the dugout. They're just wrapping up game 1 in the baseball tournament.
Yep, 6-2 Milligan victory.
Floater again. Freegee crushes this. It's rolling back towards the chain link. She rounds to scoring position at second and stays put with a massive double.
You know, you may be seeing KP Smith tiring a little bit right now pitching in this game, because it doesn't look like she has necessarily the crisp stuff that she's had the last 3 days of this tournament to get to this point. That could be problematic for Bryan. They may have to make a change sooner than they would like in this game.
Man, I don't, unless you think that you can, they've got a tough spot. I mean, you're out of staff. You're out of staff. That's all there is to it. I don't know what else we can say other than that. Obviously, the offense of Reinhardt is making that more difficult. And maybe they run KP Smith. That's a bunt, and Shaylin is over at first and in time. She's safe for the Reinhardt Eagles.
What a job by Olsheway, showing off the legs. How about that? Olsheway beats out the bunt single and puts runners at the corners with just one out.
Hit me with that silly. That's great. Very nice play.
That was awesome.
Molly Stevens next in the lineup for Reinhardt, and I mentioned it in her first at bat, but she's been very good in the tournament, playing her best softball and helping Reinhardt's Eagles soar in the skies. So the point I was going to make before another red hot moment, right, hitting the bunt. KP Smith maybe using her in this first game, the elimination game, and not saving her for a potential championship, because Reinhardt has been so productive offensively as there's a roped out across to second, easily gloved.
Yeah, that was a close play. I think if Lockhart there quickly threw to first, or realized that she could throw to first quickly, it would have been a double play and the inning would have been over, which would have been a huge change, huge shift in momentum here in this inning.
Look at the Reinhardt Eagle dugout.
Yeah, pinch hitter here. We're going Emma Scott for Reinhardt.
They've had you and I confused with some of the pinch hitting. This Emma Scott.
Yeah, let's see. Where are we at? It is a pinch hitter for Hutto, the catcher in this spot, who hasn't done a whole lot with the bat in this tournament, so I could understand trying to just spark something with someone that you got off the bench that you may trust to come in there and get a base hit for you.
Yeah, hoping to find something.
Emma Scott, a .228 hitter with 13 hits across 57 at-bats this year. That is a better average than Hutto, who is hitting 160. So giving the chance to Scott here to drive in a run.
I like it. See what she could do. KP in the circle. In the elimination game, trying to push her Lions to the championship against Truett McConnell at 1 o'clock. That's Eastern time, of course. We'll have full coverage of that game, and be sure to join us as early as possible, as we'll have a recap of the tournament so far. Dropped real close, and she's going to be walked to load the bases with 2 away in the top of the third. And here is a pivotal moment in this entire tournament. Any production in this moment could blow this thing wide open and solidify Reinhardt's trip to the championship. And I think Coach knows that, because here she comes out of the dugout.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens here. If they're going to get Smith this early, or if it's just to talk with Smith, calm her down, let her know that she's got to get one more out, and it's going to be Aaliyah Rogers, another pinch hitter for Reinhardt, coming into this spot.
KP coming out, and the pinch hitter coming in for Reinhardt is Aaliyah Rogers after the walk. She goes for 60 pitches, looks good early, but does not finish the day, as Maddie Lee has come into the game for the Lions of Bryan College.
Yeah, Lee, again, this is their number 2 pitcher for this season. She's thrown 141 in the third innings with a 3.71 ERA across 24 appearances, all of them starts. So this is her first relief appearance of the season. She has done a really nice job on the year, 52 strikeouts to 41 walks. So she's going to probably put the ball in play for these Eagles. Doesn't have the strikeout stuff necessarily that KP Smith possesses. So the defense going to have to back her up here to keep this a 2-0 game.
Yeah, they're going to have to be red hot. They're going to have to do some special stuff in what has been a tough outing, right? Real test for Bryan College. They have so many good pieces in this staff and this personnel, but man, Reinhardt is going to push that to the limit, and it's not because Reinhardt is their usual self. We've talked about that. We've hammered that point. I think it's super important that we look at that. They had a great end of the season after struggling through much of the regular season. They closed it in a strong way, won all the way through March, and then dropped one to Truett McConnell, rolled into April, dropped both in Gainesville against the Golden Tigers of Bernau, marched forward and thought they would finish the season with all sweeps, but then they hit a snag at the end of the month. Johnson took them down 2-1 and then 8-0. That was in Knoxville on Rocky Top against the Royals, who they eliminated in this tournament, ironically. Went on and visited here, where guess who knocked them into the elimination bracket? The local team, the Milligan Buffs. That was 6-3. Since then, well, they've had some of their most productive outings since the beginning of the year. They were able to score a dozen runs against Bluefield back in early March, but since then, they have only scored 3, 4, sometimes 5 runs. But other than that, not their usual productive self as a program, as that thing is going to go foul. They get to the tournament. They lose to Milligan. They have not scored 7 runs since the very first week of March. They score 7 in the elimination bracket against Bernau to overcome them 7-6 to avoid elimination. Then they score almost a dozen against Milligan in the rematch, 11-8. By the way, Milligan, wow, the Buffs go down. Speaking of going down, she goes down swinging and back to the dugout for Reinhardt. That'll retire the top of the third and send us to the bottom side of the inning. Then they score 5 against Johnston yesterday to eliminate them, as they played 2 games yesterday on Thursday, scoring a combined 16 runs in one day. And again, they had not scored 16 runs in a single week all season long. Where did that come from? They are red hot. They're feeling it. And Bryan, ditto. Bryan is playing their best softball as well, obviously, as this one's real close. It's 2-0. Reinhardt is in the lead, and obviously Bryan just trying to find a way to get started and feeling the pressure in the circle. They make a smart change to Lee right there, clearly, who's able to retire the side. What does Bryan got to do to get going offensively? Is it not that simple?
You know, well, the thing is, they have gotten going offensively. They've gotten runners on base. They just have not been able to get that clutch hit and drive in runners. And I think that is the key right now. They've got to be able to string at-bats together, drive home runs with runners in scoring position. We have seen just little soft grounders in the infield that have, stopped them from scoring. Soft line drives that have been caught with the bases loaded with 1 out that made it 2 outs. Those sorts of plays, they're going to have to start taking advantage in those situations.
I think it's a shame that it's difficult to impress upon our viewers and you with us right now. Hope you're enjoying this coverage. How wild it is that they were able to stave off elimination twice in one day to make it to this point.
And to be honest with you, both those games, are tough ones. Milligan had a 6-0 lead in that game. So to come back from that and end up going on an 11-2 run to finish that contest and win that 11-8, that's huge. And then you got to beat the top seed in the tournament, Johnson, and you somehow make that work.
Able to get a hold of this, roped across, and it's in time to retire her. Shaylin ready to take the delivery from the outfield, as that one sending Saul, the hot bat, back to the dugout. So the only team that entered today with sustained rhythm is Reinhardt. But again, I don't think that means much when you run up against TMU and the Bears at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
We shall see.
Now, I talked about how impressive it is that Reinhardt eliminated Johnson, but do you know how Johnson fell into the elimination bracket?
Yeah, they lost 6-0 to Bryan.
Bryan came out and went after him, and the Lions got a little bite in, 6-0. The Bears nursing their wounds on the underside of the bracket, and the Royals eventually eliminated by the Eagles of Reinhardt University. They lost a 3-2 extra inning battle to TMU. We called that. It was a blast. I mean, that was a fun back and forth tug of war. Roped over the top, and it bloops down as she's going to easily be safe at first on a beautiful stand-up single. Lily Taylor now 1 for 2 in the outing.
Yeah, it's a great job by Lily Taylor to come through, hits a hard line shot into center field, and does a great job getting a runner aboard with just 1 out. First pitch from Pettit, smacked up the middle, off the glove of Pettit. It rolls into center field, and it'll be another single. Back-to-back hits by the Lions here with 1 away, and that will bring up Blackwell, the slap-hitting lefty.
Now batting the left fielder, number 6, Blackwell.
Blackwell had a chance with the bases loaded and 2 outs in her last at-bat. She ended up rolling out to the third baseman and being retired as she bunts this one back to the pitcher Pettit, who fires to first and retires Blackwell. So a sacrifice will move the runners up to second and third with 2 outs now in the inning. And it'll be Brooklyn Malone's turn to have a chance to drive in the runs. 2-run single here from Malone, or a double possibly, would tie this ball game here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Brooklyn Malone.
Popped up by Malone, the shortstop underneath it, and another squandered opportunity by Bryan with 2 runners in scoring position. They do not score here in the 3rd inning, and it's 2-0. Reinhardt still leading this one over the Bryan College Lions.
Bays Mountain Park Adventure Course. Gear up and climb the Hawk's Nest. Work together as a team to complete 4 high ropes challenges, all while suspended 40 feet in the air. Finish with a zip through the canopies on our 310-foot zip line. Our ground course features 9 exciting challenges and is perfect for large and small groups. The Bays Mountain Park Adventure Course. Thrilling fun for group events, parties, and field trips.
And we're back here in Kingsport, Tennessee, as the Reinhardt Eagles get set here to go in the top of the 4th as Taylor Wade is back up at the plate. She takes outside for ball 1. The Eagles up 2-0 in this game with a run in the first 2 innings rather of this contest, as Wade takes up high on the next one and is now ahead 2-0. Next pitch from Maddie Lee. Up high again, 3 straight out of the zone. Maddie Lee, the new pitcher, came in last inning, struck out Aaliyah Rogers, the pinch hitter, to end that inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and moves us on to the next inning. As the next pitch is in there for a strike from Lee, as she's now behind just 3-1 instead of a 3-0 count. Lee looking in, and the 3-1 is low and outside, and Taylor Wade works the leadoff walk for the Eagles. And that's a great start to this frame for Reinhardt, as Hallie Shirley comes up next. Shirley is 2 for 2 in this game, whacked a single into left field in her last at-bat. And a bunt on the first pitch. Diving stop by the third baseman, but she's got no play to get Shirley. So a bunt single. Ava Saul tried to make the diving play and couldn't quite collect it in time, as it'll be runners at first and second with nobody out for Reinhardt, and Bryan in danger here. They've got to stop this before it gets really started in the top of the 4th. Next pitch from Lee goes to the backstop, a wild pitch, and the runners are now in scoring position for the Eagles. Chance to double their lead with a base hit from Ansley Height. 0 for 2 in this game, as she takes that one out of the zone and is ahead 2 balls and no strikes, as Lee is struggling in this inning to find the strike zone. The 2-0. Height swings hard and fouls it back for first strike of the at-bat. That right there was a dangerous pitch for Lee. Next delivery, same spot, fouled back again by Height, as the count is now even at 2-2, as Lee battling back against the top hitter in this Reinhardt lineup. The 2-2. Tapped in the box and it hits Height. It's a foul ball. Just a little out in front on that pitch, as Lee changed speeds a bit with the changeup. Another 2-2. That's another changeup that Height just does get a piece of. Able to react to the change in speed and foul it to the screen. Another 2-2 from Lee. Popped up and out of play, foul on the right side, as Height continues to battle here in this at-bat. And the next delivery, another changeup popped up, and it's out of play yet again over into the stands on the third base side. Height is continuing to see pitches here against Lee. The next one, hit down the line and right, slicing into foul territory. And another pitch forthcoming from Lee to Ansley Height. Still a 2-2 count. This will be the 9th pitch in this at-bat to Ansley Height. And here it comes. It's rolled on the left side, foul, and picked up by the third base coach for the Eagles. So still a 2-2 count. Height looking to do some damage here. The next pitch. Fouled again. What a battle here between Maddie Lee and Ansley Height. Still 2-2. Change up, and Height hooks it down the left field line. It lands in foul territory for yet another foul ball. Still a 2-2 count. And she did not go around. It's ball 3. Full count to Height. Foul again. This will now be the 14th pitch of this at bat. Here it comes. And it's gonna be 15. What an AB for Ansley Height here on the first day of May. Another 3-2 coming up from Maddie Lee. She's got to be thinking, can I get this hitter out? No, she walks her, and it's a wild pitch, and a run comes across to score. So Reinhardt picks up a run without putting the ball in play here on this at-bat for Height. She walks, and a run scores on the wild pitch to make it 3-0. We're gonna have a pinch runner, it looks like. I believe this is number 60, Maya Bostic, who is standing outside the dugout, coming in to run now for Ansley Height in this spot.
Pitch running at first base, number 60, Maya Bostic. Now batting the right fielder, number 7, Emily Pettit.
So Emily Pettit, another hitter that's dangerous for this team. 1 for 2 in this game with an RBI. Comes up with runners at the corner. She'll square to bunt and pull it back as Bostic steals second. So the pinch runner, Maya Bostic, comes through, moves into scoring position. Still nobody out in this inning as Bryan is on the ropes early. And the next pitch is low from Maddie Lee. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the next delivery from Lee is swung on and missed by Pettit as she is behind at a ball and 2 strikes now. And we're gonna have a visit in the circle. Not sure what this could be about. Maybe a missed sign or something like that on that last pitch. Pitch misses outside there on the 1-2 out of the conference in the circle. So it's now 2-2. Here's the next pitch to Pettit, who pops it up, and it will get out of play and into the stands. Caroming around a little bit there. So 2-2 to Pettit. Next pitch from Lee. Change up, low and outside. It's 3-2. Payoff from Lee. Roped hard on the right side. Foul by Pettit. So the count remains full. Some really long at-bats that Maddie Lee is having to deal with here in this inning. 15 pitches to Ansley Height. That is easily the most we've seen in an at-bat during this tournament. and she ultimately walked. As that pitch misses outside and Pettit walks, and the bases are loaded now with nobody out, as Kylie Freege comes up with a chance to do some major damage.
Now batting the third baseman, number 5, Kylie Freege.
First pitch to Freege. Hit in the air to right center field. Coming in, the right fielder makes the catch, tagging and coming home on the play and scoring for Reinhardt is Hallie Shirley, as the Eagles now lead it 4-0 here in the 4th inning.
At the plate, the first baseman, number 19.
We'll take a look at that play again as Freege gets underneath that one, sends it into fairly shallow right center, but good speed from Shirley, and she's able to get to the plate. Stealing the bases at third and second, and it's a double steal by Reinhardt. Maya Bostic swipes third, and on the backside as well for Reinhardt, they take second. So a huge development there for the Eagles, as now there's 2 in scoring position again with 1 out for Olszeway, who pops it up back behind third, and it's going to land in foul territory. So just strike 2 to Olszeway. Lee looking in, and her next pitch to Olszeway just a bit high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Very close pitch. Looked like it may have clipped the top of the zone. But a 1-2 delivery coming up. And that's outside to Olszeway as well, 2-2.
Got a hold of that, cranked down the line, foul. Olszeway making this some work.
Yeah, 2-2 still on Olszeway. This will be the 6th pitch here in this AB, as Lee has not seen a quick at-bat in quite a while. And 3 straight hitters now that she's faced, actually make it 4, that she has not seen a result in the first 4 pitches of the at-bat.
Floater is in danger of sending her back, and it does, and it's too shallow to tag up. So 2 away, still runners in scoring position for the Reinhardt Eagles.
Now batting the shortstop, number 44, Molly Stevens.
Yeah, I think Molly Stevens here. Reinhardt needs to break this game open. I think they would love to break it open. Just leave no doubt early in this game who's in charge. And Molly Stevens could do just that by coming up with a base hit.
Rolled right foul down the line. KP Smith, Bryan Lions rely on timely hits. You know, they were able to hold Truitt to 1 run through 7 innings earlier. Strong base performance. Have struggled to match late inning execution, though. That's been a difference maker for them so far.
Yeah, it's been a tough game so far for Bryan. They just haven't come through with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
Reinhardt's going to end up staying put with 2 away as the count continues to fill up. Remains 1-2 as that fouled off.
Yeah, 2 strikes on Stevens here. And a clutch hit here, like I said, I mean, it will almost certainly drive in 2 with Emily Pettit being the runner at second and her speed.
Bryan's got to score something pretty quickly, I feel like. I put on my note sheet they needed to score early.
Yeah, and they had chances. I mean, they had the bases loaded in the first, 2 runners on in the second.
Roper is going to score more for Reinhardt, who is pouring it on. 5 and 6-0 in the top of the 4th for the Eagles, who are soaring through this one.
Yeah, the offense for the Eagles has shown up in this game, and that is a massive development. They're going to have a 6-run lead now, and with Bryan's struggles with runners in scoring position to this point, it's going to be tough for them to make up a 6-run deficit.
Hutto stepping to the plate with 2 away. Suffers strike 1. She's 0 for 1 in this game.
Yeah, Hutto was pinch hit for last time up by Emma Scott, but gets the chance to come up to the plate this time around.
Bryan so far has been unable to limit extra base damage. They're going to need an explosive half inning or 2 to bring this back to life, as that sails foul. They've got some time left to play with here. This thing is far from over.
They do. They've got 4 more chances at the plate as the home team in this game. They'll have the last say as well.
Floater, and this is a good one for Bryan, who's going to retire the side. The Lions are going to try and restart the battery and breathe some life into this dugout when we return with more in the top side of the 5th.
You don't have to wear a uniform for service or sacrifice. Every day, ordinary Americans perform extraordinary acts of courage and selfless service. Please join us in recognizing citizen heroes who have made a difference in the lives of others through their acts of courage and selfless service in communities across America. Nominate a citizen hero today at themedalofhonor.com.
Welcome back to Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
Quincy, it's 2 a.m. You have school tomorrow.
Welcoming you into the bottom of the 4th inning as Madison Carpenter is going to lead off hit. Pettit will be the one dealing to her. Lets that go on by for the ball.
Yeah, Carpenter, the replacement for KP Smith in the lineup.
Got a hold of that. The floater, she could be in danger, and she is, as she'll be the first out of the side.
Yeah, good grab there by Stephanie Schaefer. Gets underneath it. Puts it away. Actually make that Aaliyah Rogers, who entered for Stephanie Schaefer.
Maddie Lee 1 for 1 today. Ropes that over, foul off the chain link. Pettit's got a strikeout. That's really her game, right? Low number of strikeouts, but very efficient. Floated low. Roped across into left field near the chain link. And that one collected.
Yeah, caught in foul territory out there by Shirley in left as she made her way over beyond the foul line to put that one away and get 2 quick outs here for Reinhardt. And Bryan right now is not doing a whole lot offensively, and they're back to the top of their order here, so maybe they can put something together here in the bottom of the 4th to maybe get just 1 or 2 on the board. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and that's kind of where my head was at right when you said that. Is okay, we're back to the top of the order, but you know, Juliana, you want her with no outs on the board, right? You want to get her, even somebody on board to try and plate some runs. Santanias is going to work. It's going to be roped across, over and in time at first to the Reinhardt Eagles, who retire the 4th inning and send us into the 5th in the play-in game. We've got it when we return.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
Aaliyah Rogers to lead us off on this side of the 5th for Reinhardt University's Eagles. Shows bunt pretty quickly. Doing work inside of the circle. Lee has looked really good since coming in. Set up high, and she's endangered near the chain link as that will be collected. Good play. Bunted, rolled across, and delivered in time to first to cut her down.
Yeah, nice job by Maddie Lee to get that throw over to first quickly and retire Aaliyah Rogers.
Flips us back to the top of the order for the Reinhardt Eagles. Roped across and bobbled over at shortstop as Reinhardt makes it on board at first.
Yeah, Lakin Lockhart over at shortstop. Now, after Maddie Lee, the regular shortstop, took over in the circle. Unfortunate that time, didn't attack that ground ball as the in-between hop ate her up. And it results in a runner reaching base.
And Shirley has been scorching hot for Reinhardt in this game. 3 for 3.
Yeah, she has been hitting the ball very well in this game, and wouldn't be surprised to see it continue here in this at-bat.
Little glove flash. Back behind the plate, thought we might get a little throw out to second as everybody kind of stands off for a half second, and Abby Young never throws it. Young looking again, not liking what she's seeing from Taylor Wade and wants her to stay put at first. Maddie Lee Drop that in for strike one.
Yeah, gave that pitch that looked like it may have been slightly high, but call goes in favor of Bryan there as they try to battle back into this count.
And she's walked, so that advances Taylor Wade to scoring position at second, and Shirley at first. 2 on the base path in the top of the 5th with just 1 away for Reinhardt's Eagles.
And they've got Ainsley Height re-entering the game here as the DP. And this is a dangerous spot for Bryan. They're in some real trouble with 2 on and 1 out for a hitter who's got 10 home runs this year. Gotta have to stay away from her here. On the edges of the zone. Don't let her hurt you big with a home run in this spot.
And credit to you, you established early that you really liked her style. And boy, has it been lights out for the entire tournament as this is fading down the right field line. Sent back inside, and she's into prime positioning at third for Reinhardt's Eagles.
Yeah, fly out in foul territory by Height there is the second out of the inning, but it does move Wade up to third base. Shirley still at first. And Emily Pettit, another really hot hitter, comes up next. She's 1 for 2 in this game.
Pettit watches it go by for strike one, and a quick play over at 3, trying to keep Taylor Wade honest.
Yeah, Shirley goes and takes second base on that play. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Pettit, and a base hit would likely score a pair.
Floater is across as this diving grab won't go, and Reinhardt bringing not 1 but 2 runs home. 8-0. The Eagles off and running in Kingsport, Tennessee, as they've got a commanding lead in the 5th inning.
Yeah, up by 8 now, and that's the threshold where now in the bottom of the 5th, Bryan's going to have to score at least a run in order to keep the game alive. So it's a daunting task right now for the Lions.
Yeah, the measurement, the difference between that play at second will retire the side, and so Bryan keeping some gas in the tank. Can they get the engine fired up in the bottom side of the 5th and keep it going? Find out next.
Tracking it, made a collision with the wall, was unable to reach his feet before Zachary Long made his way from second to third. Eventually, one of his fellow outfielders covered him up and retrieved the ball, but by then it was too late. Long had already made his way home for the rare inside the park home run. In this tournament, Johnson, they've already been on the unfortunate end of some of the more rare occurrences. They had the extremely rare 1-2-3 double play go against them yesterday in their win against U-Pike. This one gets popped up to the aforementioned Wilson. There won't be any collisions on this one. He's going to retrieve that one calmly and cleanly for out number 3. Quick retiring of the side for Tyler Barfield. We're going to get a chance to see Wilson, Mendocini, and Hobbensiefken do up.
Lake and Lockhart to lead us off on this side of the inning, and Bryan has to score a run to keep their tournament championship dreams alive.
Yeah, not only that, but also their entire season is on the line here in this game, as well as more than likely they will not be receiving an at-large bid to the national tournament. So they need a run, and that's a tough start. 1 out, gone already.
Yeah, good poke, and just couldn't get the gap she needed, right? Not able to drop that in front, behind, whatever. Just keep positive momentum as this one is crushed back And in right field, collected by the Reinhardt Eagles. 2 in a row, flown out first in center field shallow, then in right field back along the wall.
Yeah, 2 quick outs here for Reinhardt, and that is huge news for them as they are 1 out away from clinching a spot in the tournament championship.
Bryan College battling it out against the count. Lily Taylor looking to keep us playing as it's roped across, rolled, and sent down, delivered to first to retire us. Reinhardt University advances to our 1 o'clock championship game against Truett McConnell's Bears.
Wow, that was a dominant performance from Reinhardt in this game. And I think, you know, the thing that I took from this, Bryan, in the early stages of this game, had multiple chances to score runs with runners in scoring position, and they failed in all 3 opportunities. And that really hurt them as they went on in the game. That kind of just squashed any sort of momentum they could have found in this game, as Reinhardt was scoring runs on the other side, scoring in 4 of the 5 innings in this game. So what a performance by Reinhardt and the Eagles, who will now go up against Truett McConnell, a team that hasn't lost yet in this tournament, with their mind on an upset, having to win twice to take home the AAC tournament title.
Reinhardt red roaring hot through this game. Bryan College, nothing to be ashamed of. You had a fantastic regular season. They make it to the tournament. They fall into the bottom side of the bracket, and what a battle. I mean, they opened with a big one against Johnson, right? They've looked so good all year long. Looked great here in Kingsport, and what a season to remember for Bryan, who I'm assuming is going to reload, reset, and be ready for a great campaign next year. Any closing thoughts? Also, of course, inviting everyone to tune in for our coverage of the championship bout at 1 o'clock and potentially a what-if game at 3 p.m., but it'll be a tough uphill battle for Reinhardt's Eagles, who clearly are as hot as they've been all year long.
They are.
Right now. What does that look like? What does this TMU-Reinhardt duel look like?
Well, Reinhardt's scalding hot offensively right now, and so it's going to take a great pitching performance from Truett McConnell in that first game to calm their offense down a little bit. But we've seen from Truett McConnell in most of the games in this tournament, sans yesterday's win against Bryan, that they've put up a ton of runs in their games as well, and that's a team that can hurt you big time by leaving the yard. They've got 42 home runs as a team this season, so that is, I think, the matchup to watch is Truett McConnell's offense. If they can be held down by the Reinhardt pitching staff, Reinhardt's got a shot.
Should be interesting. Going to be a tight battle as they will duke it out, go back and forth, and excited for that one. Would love to have you with us. We'll begin early with a recap of the softball tournament, play-by-play, highlight by highlight, day by day. Be sure to catch it. For Brennan Sweeney and everybody here, appreciate you tuning in for the final spot in the tournament, the ticket punched. What a fun one it was. Congratulations to the Lions on a great season. And Reinhardt, we'll see you in the 1 o'clock championship bout against the Truett McConnell Bears. For Brendan, for both programs, all the fans, I'm Gabriel Fry saying so long from Kingsport, Tennessee. Your final score, 8-0. All games and events airing on our networks, broadcast live, and our copyright material. Today's game will be archived and available for replay inside of the Apper platform where you viewed it.
Need a break? A break from the grind? The stress? We have just the place. A place where you can let your inner thrill-billy out. Bristol Motor Speedway, April 10th through the 12th for the NASCAR Food City 500 Triple Header Weekend. 3 days, 3 races, 2 night races, 1 epic weekend. Don't just take a break, race to it. Get your tickets, upgrades, and more now at bristolmotorspeedway.com. It's not just a race.
It's Bristol, baby!
Jordan Hart well ahead, trying to get Hobbin-Siefken out. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Second K of the ball game for Hobbin-Siefken, and he's done it both ways. Struck out Wilson looking, strikes out Hobbin-Siefken swinging. That's going to bring up the DH, Isaac Fernandez. Isaac Fernandez in that first game against Montreat went 1 for 4 on that one. Johnson so far starting slow. These 2-out situations, that's what Montreat lived on in the first 2 days of the tournament. They were 9 of 16 in one of those games with 2 outs on the board. That came during their opening victory over Pikeville. And then very successful with 2 outs on the board against Johnson as well. So we'll see if the Royals can return the favor here. That pitch high, it gets past the backstop Dawson Bryan, easily allowing Mendocini to get himself into scoring position. Pass balls, mistakes, these type of things, again, with the margin of error so slim at this phase of the season, the postseason, those can really be the difference. Montreat, they want to get a handle on those things early. Jordan Hart falls behind on the count, 2-0. Make that 3-0. You wouldn't want to put your team too far behind the 8 ball, especially with that bat of Mitchell Birdsall looming in the on-deck circle. Count at 3-0. That's going to be ball 4, walk, 2 men on for Johnson. Mendocini got himself into scoring position, and Fernandez will join him on the base paths. He's now at first. Mitchell Birdsall coming up to the plate. Birdsall, his bat is scorching hot for the Royals after yesterday. He was 2 for 5 in that game, finished with 3 RBIs. Birdsall, one of those hits a triple from him. So we'll see what he can do with 2 runners on base. That was a big hack. He wanted to get all of that one, but gets none of it indeed. Strike number 1. Some early pressure on Jordan Hart. Eyes Mendocini. Eyes back to the plate. Mendocini's going to go. Double steal for the Royals. And it will be successful. Mendocini trying to take home. Will the throw be in time? Takes out the umpire. What's the call? He's out at home. The umpire takes a dive there. He takes the bump, but gets up and makes the call. Out at home. Mendocini aggressively trying to put his Royals on the board. Instead, they will remain without a run at the conclusion of the first inning. Some early fireworks, folks. The Cavs and the Royals deadlocked. We're still waiting to see who's going to break the ice. have some early fireworks on display here in Kingsport, Tennessee. Hunter Wright Stadium is the scene for what is this day 4 of the Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament. The Johnson Royals and the Montreat Cavs, they were one of the more surprising results of day 2 of the tournament. In this, a grudge match, a rematch to see who will move on and who will go home. The winner will move on to face Tennessee Wesleyan later on tonight. The loser will head back to the hotel, pack their bags, and gas up that charter bus. Tyler Barfield back on the mound for Johnson. Made relatively quick work of Montreat. Wasn't quite 1-2-3 because Matthew Brunner had other ideas, but Tyler Barfield picking up right where he left off. That's his first K of the game.
The third baseman, Hunter Purchase.
Barfield able to get out Daniel Restrepo. Restrepo, the second team all-conference selection, makes his way back to the dugout. And coming up to the plate now is Hunter Purchase. Hunter Purchase, he was the only guy to get going for Montreat in their loss against Tennessee Wesleyan. Can he get going again? Ball kicked up. The throw, is it in time? Yes, it is. What a play over there by the third baseman for the Johnson Royals, J.J. Menacini.
The second baseman, Gustavo Gonzalez.
J.J. Menacini had to get that one off a high hop. It rolled up on him. He was able to pluck it out the air and deliver a perfect throw to Birdsall for out number 2. Gustavo Gonzalez now at the plate. Gonzalez found rough sledding, as did pretty much everyone against Tennessee Wesleyan yesterday. Justin Jackson put together a classic performance on the mound and went 8 straight innings against Montreat. They just could not find much success against him whatsoever. As Purchase lifts this one up in the shallow left. It's going to be caught to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 through the order goes Tyler Barfield, holds Montreat at bay. The Royals are going to have Fernandez, Birdsall, and Frank due up next in the bottom half of the inning.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
Your favorite teams, your favorite live streams, your favorite highlights. Be sure to engage with us. Find us now on YouTube at NSBN Sports or visit us at nsbnsports.com.
Shifting gears to the bottom half of the inning, Johnson and Montreat deadlock, still waiting to see who's going to break the ice. Mitchell Birdsall, the first baseman, is coming up to the plate. Mitchell Birdsall at the plate. Johnson's trying to find a way to strike first. They got off to that slow start against Montreat, and really that's what doomed them from the start. They couldn't really get going in the early stages. Bats late arriving. They didn't find their first signs of real life until that third inning. Montreat had a 5-0 lead before Johnson was even able to score anything, as this one's carrying out the right field, but it has warning track power, out number 1. That slow start dooming Johnson against Montreat.
The second baseman, Bryan Frank.
They need to get off to a faster start here today to put some pressure on the Cavs. Meanwhile, the upset-minded Montreat Cavaliers, they're struggling early with Tyler Barfield. It's a bit of a different sight for them, especially after the way that they jumped out to early leads on both Pike and Johnson. Bunt attempt here by Frank. The throw is high. It's wild. Frank is rounding first, headed to second. He's safe. Rounding second, headed to third. Safe again. Frank takes 2 bags. The single from Frank. He takes 2 more after the wild throw over to 1.
The catcher, Austin Minicini.
He is 90 feet from home plate. With the backstop, Austin Minicini coming up for the Johnson Royals. Minicini, the older brother of J.J. Minicini, the infielder for Johnson. Jordan Hart in some real trouble here. Yes, 1 man on, but that man is at third. He is 1 base hit away from allowing the Royals to break the ice officially. This is popped up into the air. It's going back. It will likely allow Frank to score. He's headed home, and he's safe at home. Johnson strikes first blood. One run to none for the Johnson Royals, and you can tell that Johnson, they're starting to get a little bit more into it. I had one real critique for Johnson, not much, because this team has been one of the best teams, not just in the conference, but in the country all year long. But my main critique of the Royals was I felt like their dugout, the energy just wasn't there through 2 days. That energy has certainly picked up here. Tell they're chirping a little bit more. Those guys, they're all the way into it. Christian Altamirano, the shortstop, at the plate for the Royals. Altamirano pops one up into center field. That's going to be out number 3. The side is retired, but not before the Johnson Royals get on the board. This game different than game number 1 because it's Johnson on top early. Johnson gets on the board first. They're ahead 1-0 here entering the third inning. Tyler Barfield back on the mound for the Royals. He's had a strong start to his outing. Montreat, they're the only team between these two to have a hit on the board. But a costly error from Montreat allowed Johnson to get a chance to put a run up early. Margins razor thin in postseason baseball, especially when you're going up against a team like Johnson that's top 10 in the country, a team that's fighting for a #1 seed in the NAIA opening round. You cannot afford to make mistakes like those, and when you do, these teams have a way of capitalizing. Ground ball, but Mendocini can't corral it. And safe at second for Montreat is Caden Ethier. Caden Ethier.